Welcome to Module 4, AI for Writing and Communication. My name is Dr. Linda Cureton, and I'm pleased to present our topic today. Well, we all know that writing and communication are essential skills for every professional, no matter what your role is. And yet, it's time consuming and sometimes a stressful task. Well, AI can help reduce that stress, reduce that burden while helping you produce clearer and more engaging content. AI can help you generate ideas when you're stuck. It can help you draft initial text quickly, check grammar and spelling, rewrite for different tones, and even translate between different languages. So think of AI as your writing assistant, not a replacement for your own voice and judgment. So the advantages of using AI are it saves time because AI can quickly generate drafts, outlines, or even complete paragraphs based on your input. And this drastically reduces the time spent staring at a blank page or wrestling with writer's block. Instead of crafting every sentence from scratch, you can focus on refining, customizing content, and speeding up your overall writing process. Next, it enhances creativity. Sometimes when we get stuck in habitual patterns or familiar phrasing, AI can often come up with alternative ways to express ideas. It can suggest synonyms, introduce fresh concepts that you may not even have thought of before. This can help spark new angles or storytelling techniques, enriching the overall originality and appeal of your writing. Next, it helps improve your consistency. It helps with maintaining a consistent tone, style, and terminology, which is crucial, especially when producing multiple documents or working across teams. AI can mirror your preferred style and vocabulary, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end of this module. And it will help ensure that every piece of content sounds like it came from the same voice, bringing a stronger brand or personal identity. Next, it improves productivity by automating repetitive tasks, such as writing emails, reports, or summaries. AI frees up time for more strategic or creative work. This means that you can produce more high quality content in less time, thereby increasing your overall output without burning out. And finally, it supports editing. With AI powered tools, you can quickly scan your writing for grammar errors, awkward phrasing, or unclear sentences. This real time feedback improves the clarity and professionalism of your writing and acts like a personal editor available anytime, helping you polish your work before sharing it. So, using AI has its disadvantages. The first is that AI lacks genuine creativity. While it can generate content quickly, it often relies on patterns and existing data, which can result in writing that feels generic or formulaic. It may lack nuanced creativity or emotional depth and original insight that human writers bring to their work. This can sometimes make AI generated text sound less engaging or authentic. Next, there's the potential for errors. AI is not infallible. It can produce factual inaccuracies or misunderstand the context or create awkward or confusing phrasing. Without careful human review and editing, these mistakes can undermine the quality and credibility of your writing. So always treat AI output as a first draft that needs scrutiny. One thing I always say is use AI as your research assistant, not your researcher. And as you would do with any junior research assistant, you've got to check their output carefully. Next is over reliance on risk. If you rely too heavily on AI for writing, there's a risk that your own writing skills and critical thinking may diminish over time. There was a recent research paper that was published that showed how over-reliance on AI can diminish your cognitive skills. So it's important that you continue to develop and exercise your own voice and judgment rather than outsourcing all your writing and your creative efforts to AI. Next, there are privacy concerns. Many tools process data through cloud servers, which can raise concerns about confidentiality and data security. Sharing sensitive or proprietary data or personal information with AI platforms may expose you or your organization to privacy risks or data breaches. Always understand the terms of service and the security measures of the tools that you use. If AI is learning from what's out there, then it's learning from you and teaching others what it learned from you. So be careful what you teach it. And finally, there's a limited understanding of nuance. And AI may struggle to grasp cultural context or idiomatic expressions or humor or emotional subtleties that are crucial for effective and sensitive communication. This limitation may lead to misunderstandings or messages that don't fully resonate with your intended audience, especially in complex or diverse settings. Let's look at some tools. ChatGPT is a tool that's used for brainstorming and fast drafting. Jasper can be used for structured templates and marketing copy. Grammarly for grammar, clarity, and tone. One of the things I like about Grammarly is that you can set a tone for proposals, for academic writing, and for marketing. So you can change your tone depending on what you want to do. Copy AI for short form content like ads or social posts. Each of these tools has their unique strengths depending on your writing needs. So let's use an example. Imagine you need to write a professional email. You can write a prompt like this. Write an email to a client thanking them for their business and offering a 10% discount on their next purchase. AI can generate a draft in seconds, which can refine for tone and details. Here's another example of a prompt that can do the same thing. And I'll just leave this here for a moment. So here you give the explicit objective, what you want to do. You give it guidance on the tone. You give it content details, key elements that you want, 10% offering and such. And any any direction on conciseness, you want it to be direct and focused, relevant, and on top. You might leave flexibility for natural phrasing and personalization that you may want to do within this framework, and that will result in a more authentic sounding email. You might want to ask for assistance in writing a blog. So you may ask AI to write a catchy introduction for a blog post about sustainable fashion. And here's an example of a more detailed prompt you might use to do the same thing. You may ask for the specific task, which you do here. Give it guidance on tone. You want it to be lively and engaging. So you want to mention that. You want a dynamic and attention grabbing style. You're focusing on the topic, which is sustainable fashion, to ensure that the content stays relevant. You want to call out important points to include, like why sustainable fashion matters, how readers can get involved, and give useful direction to AI. Ask the AI to spark curiosity, to craft an intro that motivates your readers to keep on reading. Give enough detail to provide guidance, but have it open enough to allow for creative freedom for a natural and appealing intro. In short, this prompt combines clear guidance with flexibility and maximizes the chance of producing a compelling and relevant blog intro. AI is also great for improving short content. For example, you can paste a LinkedIn post into a tool like Grammarly and adjust it for clarity, conciseness, or a more professional tone. One of the things that I'd like to recommend is that you teach AI to use your voice, that you do that by providing your writing samples to the AI, and give it varied examples to reflect your tone, your vocabulary, and structure. What I did to train AI on my voice was give it a link to a folder that had blogs that I had written over the past 5 or 10 years. So it could recognize my voice. And you can also give specific feedback when you get an output from AI. No, that's not it. Refine it, correcting it, and things like that. You can highlight key styles traits that you want to focus on, and you can do this iteratively. For example, when you get an output from AI, say, no, that's not it. I would like it to be more relaxed. Okay, that's close. Try again. So, iterative refinements can help teach it your voice. So, here's an example of my voice. And I've spent months training AI on my voice, and this is what it believes is my voice. And you can read what it says right here. My voice is warm, approachable, creative, authoritative yet empathetic, clear and concise, thoughtful and reflective, confident with a touch of humility. I found it interesting about what the first bullet said because when I had the assistance of a decorator for our home, that was what she used as her inspiration for what our decorating style would be: warm, approachable, inviting. So it may help you to detect AI in others' writing. And the reason why I say that is because you have to recognize when you overuse AI, it's not a secret that you're using AI because there are telltale signs. So, one of the things that you see is that AI lacks the natural variation in language and tone that humans use in word choice and sentence rhythm. AI repeats phrases, and those repetitive phrases can be a red flag. It often reuses similar sentence structures that feel formulaic, like overuse of bulleted lists or numbered lists. Its writing is often generic. It lacks unique perspectives or personal anecdotes that you might use in your writing in a natural way. And so, if the tone feels too formal or neutral and is lacking emotional depth or personality, it's likely created by AI. Watch for abrupt topic changes that don't flow naturally. And sometimes AI misses subtle context shifts that human writing might employ. Look at vocabulary use. AI might insert uncommon words that don't quite fit the context. One of the things that I noticed that it may overuse certain words like robust, robust, robust. Let's stop using that so much. So you'll see it do things like that. You'll also see the near absence of typos or slang or informal writing, and that may be suspicious. You may see the absence of jargon where jargon is needed. If you're doing technical writing, for example, you expect to see some jargon that AI may not necessarily use. And sometimes AI fails to grasp idioms, humor, or cultural references correctly. Sometimes it over explains concepts unnecessarily and add details where human writing might be more succinct. There are digital tools that help detect AI writing, and you may use that to identify the stylistic or uh, I would say the stylistic fingerprints of AI. As an adjunct professor, I look for AI detected essays in exams or homework assignments that I give my students, and I permit them to use AI to help them. I do not permit them to use AI to write their entire paper. Sometimes they act like you don't know, but you really do. So AI is amazing, but keep in mind that it doesn't always know your context. It may invent facts or details. For example, in a resume, it might write job assignments that you didn't even have and facts that aren't even true. So you have to be careful about that. And when you use sensitive data or confidential data that you don't want shared publicly, you have to be aware of when AI tools will do that. So, just to wrap up here, AI can dramatically improve your writing speed and your writing quality, but your own voice and your own expertise may suffer in overuse of that. Your judgment is irreplaceable. And that ends Module 4.